Good evening, my lovely crafty friends, and here we are again today with Junk Journal July UK, and today is day 30, and today's prompt is interactive. So I thought I'd have a go at the double slide card that one of the ladies posted on the group earlier in the week, and I went off to Google and I found a lovely template on raspberryswirls.com. I will post the link at the bottom, and it's got some really clear instructions as well, so that's really quite handy. I printed off the instructions just so I can have them in front of me. And to make the wallet, I have cut some coordinating scrapbook paper, and this one I cut 15 centimetres across, and it's just the length of the scrapbook paper. And then with a coordinating piece from the same set, I have cut 15 centimetre long, and they are slightly shy of the fold. So the folds on this one are 9 centimetres. So each of the three parts are 9 centimetres, and I have got a spare flap at the end, which I'm going to use to stick the whole thing together. And these are about, I think they're 8.5 centimetres wide, just so that they slide nicely. Now, the secret to your mechanism is a plastic bag, a strip of plastic bag. This is just from a clear plastic bag I had, but you could use any plastic bag because it won't be seen. At one end of the bag, I'm going to stick some double-sided tape right up on the end. Okay, so that's right at the end. And then I'm just going to cut right up next to, excuse my dog, right up next to the edge of the bag. And this then wraps around the notches. So the notches are 5 centimetres by 3 centimetres, and they're in the middle of one end panel of your wallet. And I'm just going to, now you don't want this too tight, but you also don't want it too baggy, and you want to line it up so that the bag can freely move around. Okay, so I'm just making sure that's lined up. I don't want any tape hanging out the end because I don't want it to catch. And the excess here, I'm just going to snip off as well. What we don't want is any catchy bits. So making sure that's kind of freely able to move, and it is. I'm going to have the seam at one end, and using double-sided tape, again, I'm just going to pop some double-sided tape over the seam, sticking it down, and come on. My nails are all broken. I did loads of cleaning today to try and catch up. And I'm going to pop that just flush with the edge of the pocket. You can see it just fits a little bit in. And if I just push that round, pull it that way, you can see it rolls quite happily. Rolls, it does roll, it does roll. It's just being a bit stiff, but it will loosen up. Okay, and then on the other end, so it does just hang out the bottom of that a bit, that's fine. At the other end, we're going to flip it over, and we're just going to put a bit of tape on the other end here. On the other end. Okay, so the tape at the front is that end, and this end's got the other end. And we're going to stick that on. Again, just slightly flush with the end. Might end up chopping that bit off, and then when we fold it, Oh, do you know what I've done? I've stuck it. So I flipped it over. This one, it's because I'm talking to you while I'm doing it. And this is about the 4th time I've had a go at this one. It's driving me nuts. Right. This one needs to be face down. So I'm just going to come in that end like that, slightly face down, hanging over. Just going to stick that down, and then just got it folded. I am able to... Oh, it's not working again. Why is it not working? It's being rubbish, Evie. Hello, darling. Oh, here we go. So Evie made one.
Hello.
Hello. And look, see, hers works perfectly. And I have no idea why this one is not working. Thank you, gorgeous. Let's see if we can just get this one to work. Aha! Yes, I was pulling the wrong end. Right. So it works. Well done.
And then do you just like fold that around?
Yeah, so fold that round and I can push that in and out and it works. And it works. So I just need to work that out, that it's going to work, and I just need to fix that round. And then I'm going to pause the video and get my scrapbook page started, and I will come back to you.
Goodbye.
And we're back. And after a little bit of jiggery pokery and just using it, the pocket worked. I was really pleased, actually. I was getting really stressed out making, and it didn't work. And then Evie came over, didn't she, and she showed us her one that I made as a dummy, and she just gave me the confidence to keep going with it. And I'm not even going to splice the first video, I'm just going to add it in with warts and all. So I've got my pocket. Okay, I have put eyelets on either end because I want to add a bit of string, lace, something on it. And then out of my Flower Fairy book, I found my Cornflower Fairy, who I'm going to use on this page as well. And then this background is just taken from a magazine. I think it was a Homes and Garden magazine. And I think it was an advert for wallpaper. But I love the kind of the Kensuke type. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? When they join it together with gold. So I quite like that. Unfortunately, it's not big enough to cover the whole page. So what I did do is I went to my Wildflower book that I picked up the other day, and I found the page with the cornflowers on. So we're just going to stick that down. But before I stick that down, I actually want to put some lace on. So where have I went and got them. Got my envelope of blue lace and ribbon. I do just, whenever I see lace, I do pick it up. Do I go for the dark blue, or do I go for a brilliant blue? Let's have a look. I quite like the dark. It makes him pop. And let's have a look at that. Yeah, let's go with the dark. Just checking I've not got any other dark blue in here. What's that? No, that's ribbon. Right, okay, yep, so let's go with the dark blue. I don't have a single of the dark blue, so what I am going to do is, like I did with yesterday's, I'm going to chop it across to make it, 'cause I only need a single width of it, and I will reuse the other half at a later date. Okay. So what I want to do is I actually want this lace just peeking out from the back of the page. So what I'm going to do is double-sided tape. I'm going to just tape down. Actually, do you know what? I might glue it this time. Just because I don't want the bits of tape coming out the edges, and I do just want to get it down. So I'm just going to put a line of the yoo-hoo along the back. I've eaten now, so I think things are going slightly better. I think maybe the issue in the first half of this video was I'd forgotten to eat today. I've been so busy cleaning and stuff, I'd actually forgotten to eat. So I do that. I think that's part of my autism, where I just get so engrossed in something that I then forget to look after myself. And yeah, I had forgotten to eat today. So it's now, what is it now? It's now 9 o'clock and I probably ate about 7:30ish. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great when I do it. But I always feel better after I've eaten. It's just one of those things. I'd be no good on intermittent fasting because I'm rubbish if I'm hungry. So I'm just going to make sure that's all stuck down. Hopefully that Yoo-hoo will hold that in place. And I'm just going to cut off the excess. Okay. Lovely jubbly. Let's do that one. That's quite nice, isn't it? It just gives it an edge to that. And then this page can just go in my scratch drawer, go in my scrap roll that I am doing. Now, to go in this pocket, I'm not actually going to stick anything on the front, I don't think. I might put a little bit of lace, but I'm not really going to stick anything on the front because I'm going to have it at an angle, and I am actually just going to glue it down there. And then my cornflower fairy, I measured it so that he just pops up there and it doesn't interfere with any of the pocket. He might have to come down a little and I'll just chop the bottom off him. And then I've got this bit of cornflower that was on the edge of the page. And this one I'm just going to have popping out the top there. Which is quite cute, isn't it? So I don't really want to put anything really on the front there. I might do, I might not do. Let's see where we go. So let's stick these bits down and then let's have a think about what's going to go in those. But before we stick it down, let's actually put some ribbon on it, because otherwise I'm going to do my normal and try and put some ribbon on it afterwards. Oh, that's quite cute. That can go on there somewhere. Distracted much? Yes, always. Have I got? Yes, I knew I had some. So the teeny tiny ribbons, these ones are ones that I actually just generally cut out of clothes. You know, they all come with those shoulder thingies, the ones that we spend our lives tucking back in. But yes, so I generally cut them out and then I do keep hold of them. So I am just going to feed that through. Pull it up. As I said in the first half of the video, my fingers are really dry, and because I did lots of cleaning today, there it is. So they're just catching on everything. It's really annoying. But when I go to bed tonight, I'll sort my nails out and I'll do a really deep moisturise on my hands. It's quite a nice bedtime routine, because I have to put ibuprofen gel on my fingers anyway, because my knuckles really hurt at the end of the day. I think there's a bit of arthritis. And I don't want it to stop me crafting. It won't stop me crafting. If needs be, I'll just use our ibuprofen gel a little bit longer. So now we've got those on. That will make that easier. But what I am going to do is just use a bit of tape across the back, just so that ribbon stays. You're not going to see the back, so it doesn't matter that it's sellotape. Just making sure that's well stuck down. And on this end, pull it tight. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue the back. I'm not going to go too close to the edge, because what I don't want to do is end up with glue on the tabs. So pop it, move everything off the page, just pop it so that it sits there. And I'm going to use my little weighty thing just to hold that down while I think about what I'm going to put on the pull-out things. Now, I've got this lovely little book of scripture and reflective thoughts, and there's some really nice ones in there, like encourage each other, which this group really does. Precious memories, earth is filled with his glory. There's some really nice little just words of wisdom, really, sometimes. And I did see this one, all things bright and beautiful. Do you remember that hymn at school? I'm not going to sing it because it's quite a high-pitched tune. So I'm just going to pull that out. Now, they're on this vellum, which doesn't really stick down well. And then I think I'm going to just have that one. I quite like that. So what I'm going to do is going to go in my blue drawer. I'm just going to grab a piece of blue paper that I can just stick that onto. It's just, I don't know what paper. I think it's just like thin paper. So I'm just going to glue that down. And then I will cut it out. I will back it onto some lace, and I think at the other end I might just find a really nice picture of, or I might use some stickers and just stick all kind of blue natural things. Cecil Francis Alexander. See, I couldn't even read that when it was on the vellum. My eyesight is atrocious. So I'm just going to roughly cut it in a rectangle. It doesn't have to be too precise. But I do kind of want it. Okay, maybe that end needs to just come up. I want it to be like a free rectangle, not too measured or precise. Let's stick that back in the drawer. And then move my stickers and snip the corners. Once I've finished chucking it on the floor, snip the corners. And rather than getting the ink out today, what I have been using to go round things is this really dark denim blue aqua marker. No, this is one of the alcohol ones, it's a twin marker. So I'm just going to use the edge and just go around the edge. Now, I don't want a really thick line. I just want, so I'm coming from behind it. Sometimes I'll do it on the front and you end up with quite a thick line, which is what I did on the pocket around the punchy bit that I did. But I just want to just bring that round. Yeah, so it just gives it that little edge. As I said, before I discovered ink pads, that's how I edged everything. And then I'm going to get my blue scraps bag. Where are you? Blue, red, orange, yellow. Typically it's at the other end of the basket. No, that's turquoise. Green. Blue, where are you, blue? There you are. I'm going to see if I've got some blue fabric that will work and is big enough to go behind this. So this is just some old lace that was all stapled together, and I thought I'd removed all the staples. But that might be nice just behind it. I don't want to have it too thick because I do want to be able to still use the pockets. So let's, I bought, oh, look what I found in a scrap store. Wide, sticky, that double-sided tape. Oh, yay! Do like a bit of wide double-sided tape. It means I only need one strip. I mean, double-sided tape is always in scrap stores. They've always got loads of it. I mean, it is a card maker's dream, double-sided tape. I know quite a few people who make cards. I don't make cards. I haven't got the patience to make cards. I say that, yeah, a junk journal. Yeah, so lots of my card toppers that I have and things like that have come from people, friends of mine who do cards. And it's like the end of a pack that they no longer use. Play ball. Play ball, please. Have we got it? Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to stick that. That's two. Stick. Oh, it's really sticky. That's good stuff. Stick that on there. Can't believe I'm getting excited about double-sided tape. Things that excite us. I'm just going to trim around. Oh, that's my watch telling me it's bedtime. It's already shouted at me that it needs charging before bed, so we'll do that as well. So let's pull the top one out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have... Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Oh, please fit. Oh, it might have to just come out of the top like that. There we go. Let's have it just poking out the top. Let's just check it still can go in. Yeah, so let's have it just poking out the top like that. Do you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to stick this here along the top there, and then I will use stickers, or I will go through my magazines and I'll find some creatures and stuff to stick on those. So you've got the piece of text here, and then the animals will be coming out. Right, so while that's sticking, let me get my plastic sheeting. And let's just glue up this. Now, this is going to be an absolute pain because I have fussy cut it. And this is where I have a habit of ripping them. So I'm just going to try and be really careful. It's one of the reasons I put the plastic underneath, so I don't have to... Oh, don't rip. So I'm not peeling it off paper, which sometimes rips it as well once you've done. And it does slide around. Please don't rip. Yes. Oh yeah. So we're going to have him just coming up and over. I think he can come up and over that as well. So just pushing him down. I'm going to cut that bottom bit off there because I'm going to use that flower. So let's make that look like that leaf was always meant to be like that. And then that flower can come slightly further over there. Let's tuck that one under. Okay. Push those in for a minute. Pop that back down there. This was going in that corner. And let's just spin that around a bit. Let's go to that. Okay, and then this one that's here is going to come up out of the top. So I'm just going to glue this. So this one we've got coming up out of the top like that. Lovely. And let's see if I've got butterflies. Where's my butterflies? No, there's no blue flowers on that one. Flutterby. Here we are. Well, that's quite a nice one. This is one of my die cuts. I just spotted that right at the top. That's actually quite nice. Although it's purple, it does kind of go with the blue. So let's... Oh yeah, this is looking good. I like it. I like it a lot. So as normal, I have changed my mind on what I'm doing. So I haven't got everything ready. So what I will do is I will finish the collage and I will post a picture up on Junk Journal Community Chat. So the bits I'm going to finish is I'm literally going to finish. Let's have that. Throw it there. Yeah, let's have that right on the edge there. So I'm going to do the animal bits for the All Things Bright and Beautiful, All Creatures Great and Small. All things wide and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. So just before I leave you guys, I did find one of my big stickers. So I really want to incorporate that because that's got like the denim-y colour. So that will probably go in there somewhere. I was going to incorporate that somewhere. So that might find a home, it might not. And let's just quickly do a tab to go on the edge. That'll do. That's a bit of the paper from the Flower Fairy thing. So let's just... make it all a bit weird and wonderful. Shall we stick it on a little bit of lace coming out the edge? Yeah, let's go with that. So pop that back in. Cut a triple length of the lace and pop that down there. So that's on there. And no, that's turquoise. Three, that length. That. Let's just do the corners. I decided against the self squiggly wiggly one. And then what number are we? 30. Wow. So let's have 30. And it is in interactive. I was like, oh no, I've spelled it wrong, but no, I haven't. It's just where the T is makes it look like interrogative. That'll do. I only need one side of it, don't I? Brain, I like a sieve. And before we stick it down, let's just go around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. I was actually listening to Eminem. It's really good cleaning music. When I'm cleaning, I like to have some tunes on in the background. Well, I say tunes, rather loud tunes in the background. My poor neighbours, actually they're on holiday, so it doesn't really matter. Right, let's stick that down. And my friends, I think that is today's page. Apart from doing the little collage inside the pulley outy bits, that is my page done, and I will post the link to the, what was it called, Raspberry Swirls website, and also thank you to the lady who posted her double slide pocket thingy for inspiration. So thank you very much, and let's get that in shot. See, it works. Thank you very much. Bye bye.